Dan, it's just two of us. Do you want to have webcams on for this so that we can just like talk at each other?
I do not, because
Fair
I
enough.
am not
Naked, I
decent.
see.
Yes, not naked, but not definitely not fully clothed.
The long-awaited episode is finally here. 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago, whatever the hell, I was having a cordial conversation where I didn't overreact at all. And Dan said that the Joker physically transformed people into Jokers with Joker sauce. And I said that was the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. And Dan said, whoa, buddy, I haven't played the game. I thought that was the plot. You want to get off my ass about it? And I said, absolutely fucking not. So that's what this episode is, baby. I'm going to lay down the law about the Arkham games. But first, to give us time to run the episode late by accident, we got something else to talk about. And that's something else? Dan, that's your cue.
Hold on. Give it to me again.
And that's something else?
Fuck. Line?
Dan, this is when you're talking about the cherry blossom.
Oh, the cherry blossoms, right. It is early April in the year of our Lord 2023.
Hell yeah, it is.
And that means that the cherry blossoms are out. And that is it. No, have you ever gotten to like go see cherry blossoms? Like, is that a thing that you've ever had the opportunity to do? Like in mass rather than like 5?
I don't know that there's a lot of cherry blossoms around where I live.
That's
I've
what
seen
I thought,
them
but I
in
wasn't
photos
sure.
before. I've gone and like, you know what? I don't know why I'm saying that because like the cherry festival is literally something that happens here every year. We clearly have cherries. I just don't know where they are.
I mean, that's fair. I think a cherry blossom festival is like pretty not universal, but I feel like a lot of places have them, you know?
I feel like any place that has a good seasonal fruit. I mean, like we have a grape festival.
Yeah.
Well, it's a wine festival, but still, it's because we're in wine country. We have a big wine celebration. We have a cherry fest. I don't know that we have a cherry blossom fest, but we do have a cherry fest. So, you know, anything with a seasonal thing that they can celebrate, if your town is worth shit, it's going to have a little party.
You just made me realize that I actually don't know if, like, I assume obviously cherry blossom trees give cherries, but I don't think I've ever had a cherry blossom cherry. Like, because cherry blossom trees are like specifically bred to do the flowers, right? They're not so much like cherry trees are for eating, cherry blossom trees are for flowers. And you've now made me realize that I actually never thought about the fact that those are either different or the same.
They're not the same. They do grow cherries, but they're not the same. Let's see.
Apparently they're just different. They're just
some of them grow cherries.
Wild. Something I quite literally never would have thought of until this exact second.
Safe to ignore. They aren't good to use as ingredients. But are they edible? That's all I care about.
Yes, they're edible. They're definitely edible.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. Control F.
Oh, cherry blossom trees live longer than cherry trees, so that's cool. Cherry blossoms are easier to care for than cherry trees.
They are edible cherries, but they are, in some places, unpalatable, depending on what variety it is.
I mean, if they're tiny, they're going to be like all seed. So, exactly. Like, I guess I'm not surprised.
Super interesting things I never thought I'd think about. But yeah, got to go out. Philly has a smaller one that I went to once many years ago with a friend of the podcast, Lamb, and Tom. Actually, was it Tom? No, it wasn't Tom. It was oh fuck, who was it? I don't remember. I actually don't remember who went with us that day. That's fucked up. Anyway, but the one out here is pretty large. Apparently, up in the like this corner of the world, there's some of the most on the East Coast. DC has a big one. Dave, I think, went and got to see that at one point.
Nice.
Supposedly, the one Michelle and I went to has more cherry blossoms than DC. I didn't fucking count, so whatever. But it was genuinely super delightful. Got to take Amelia and Michelle. We went out for like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, and just wandered around and took pictures and got some cute dog photos and got to let Amelia run absolutely fucking wild. It was truly delightful. I cannot recommend it enough.
Nice.
It's
I
just
love a good little nature event.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like I feel like you mentioned, right? You've seen cherry blossoms in photos before. It's definitely very different to see them in person.
I think this is one of those really funny things where just like a week or two ago when Jackson said, or when I and Jackson said that all people yearn to have some sort of connection to the earth,
Mhm.
And you were like, absolutely not. But then you're like, ooh, cherry festival, cherry blossoms.
Listen,
Look at these cherry
I can recognize
blossoms.
beauty and not feel a need to have it. There's a difference.
I don't get that, honestly. I don't know, man.
I can recognize like the beauty of a, I don't know, snake and not want a snake.
That is not the same.
I don't. It kind of is in my mind anyway. Like, I don't know.
Yes, snakes are technically nature. It doesn't matter.
What do
It
you
doesn't
mean
matter.
they're technically? Hold on. No, you don't get to like bail on that. What do you mean they're technically? They are nature.
Yeah, snakes are technically fall into the realm of nature, but they obviously, in
What?
my opinion,
What?
when people are like, "Oh, people want to be connected to nature," they're talking about plants, dude. They're talking about fucking plants. They're not talking about animals.
Okay.
When people
Yeah,
say,
I
"Oh, I love
have
being
more-
connected
I
to
desire
nature,"
more of a
none of
connection.
them are talking about, "Oh man, I love running into snakes in the wild."
Well, I was gonna say, but like even like birds and shit. Like I don't know. I definitely feel. I definitely would rather be connected to animals than plants overall. Like I'd rather go hang out with lions or some shit than take a walk in the woods. Because lions are rad. I
Lions
don't
are
know.
pretty cool.
Lions
Big
are,
animals are always fun to look at.
all the big cats are so cool because they are quite literally just big cats. Like yes, they
Mhm.
they could take your head completely off of your body, but also like they also like belly rubs, and that's a gift. I've been watching. There's a guy on TikTok who does wolf rehabilitation, and it's insane how much they're they're not dogs at all, right? Like you'd be insane to say they're just dogs, but also
But
at the same time
they're just little dogs.
they're just big. No, they're just big dogs. They're so.
They're just a little dude.
I feel like we are removed enough from wolves in society that I don't think we like average people realize how fucking massive a wolf is.
No, they
Think of-
really don't.
Think of the biggest husky you've ever seen, and then add about 25%.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking huge.
They're big. They're
Like-
big.
Like it suddenly puts into context why like, oh yeah, a pack of wolves will down not one person but a small group of people
Yeah.
easily.
Also, they like work as a fucking team,
And that's very cool.
right? Very scary.
Oh,
Very
so
cool.
scary, but very cool. I have a huge love of most animals, not all, but most. I've been really into fish lately. I want to Dave. Shout out to Dave. I think is getting little shrimpies at some point.
Yeah, he is. Very excited for that.
So excited for. I'm also very jealous for because I've wanted a fish tank for a while. I also know that I'm not going to be a good with Amelia. Amelia tells me when she needs a thing, right? If I need to take her for a walk, she will let me fucking know, right? Cats, same thing. They will let you know if they are needing a thing for the most part. Fish can't tell you shit, dude. Fish are so dumb.
Yeah, you just kind of have to believe it.
They're honestly, I feel like a fish is the next step above taking care of like a difficult plant, right? Like you just kind of have to know what the schedule is and make sure you stick to it, and like know what the care methods are and just do it because it's not gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Fish are cool. I like fish.
Yeah, you kind of have to plan properly.
You kind of have to plan, which you should do for all animals. Let's be like to be.
You should.
Clear. But
And you shouldn't feed your cat every time it tells you it needs food because
exactly,
objectively bad for your cat.
of course. But if it's like like for Amelia, like we take Amelia average, like above average, three walks a day, right? That's just what her schedule is. But like
Mhm.
today, it's almost 1:00. Usually she takes her walk at noon, and she hasn't come out to tell me, "Hey, it's time for my walk yet." So she's asleep. I'm not gonna go wake her up.
Right. Yeah, you
because I
wouldn't
know
wanna
that
do that.
she'll what
I said right. You don't want to wake her up.
exactly, and because
It's kind of like a kid where it's best to let them sleep if they can.
exactly, and I know that when she's ready to go, she will come in and say hello and be like, "Hey, all right, I'm awake now. Let's go. Let's do this." And until then, like, I'm free to do whatever I'm doing. But yeah, no, I like animals a lot. I still stand by not like feeling the need to connect with nature, although I do feel like now that I've mentally recontextualized it into animals, I definitely do. I'm willing to walk it back a little bit because I would feel really sad if I didn't have like any animals around.
Although I would like to posit the you don't know what you have till you don't have it. Because would you
that
have
is
felt
true.
this way before you had Amelia?
That is true. No, I definitely. Well, yes, because I still had a cat before I had Amelia, and I would have wanted something like that. But as for like, I don't know, I think that it's important, like on a biological human level, right? like there's an importance to like stupid walks for my stupid mental health, whatever. And like I'm sure there's all sorts of psychological studies that say, hey, you should definitely like go out for a walk every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like it's like I feel like I definitely don't feel the desire to connect with nature in the way that like you and Jackson were describing.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel the desire to connect with nature as much as Jackson does. But
I also do love us talking about Jackson while he's not fucking here.
Okay.
Like, no chance
whatever.
to
Rip
defend
Jackson,
himself.
whatever. But like, I know I don't feel the need to connect with it as much as Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I do, I'm just like, oh, nice.
Yeah.
A way to like calm the fuck down for like 5 minutes. This is great.
I get that. I'm gonna be in South Carolina next week, and one of the things I am actually looking forward to the most is simply sitting on. They have like this I have talked about it before, but they have like this fenced in back porch, not fenced in, mesh like
Yeah.
mesh
I know
in
what you
back
mean.
porch, and it overlooks like their little. They call it a lake. It's more like a river, like a still river, but whatever that they have behind their property. And I am very much looking forward to just taking my laptop and sitting out there for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I could, but I couldn't just sit out there for a couple of hours. Like I have no need to just sit there.
No, I need something to do.
Exactly.
But like that something to do can be something as simple as like fishing or trying to carve a little trinket out of a piece of wood. You know, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Any of these are good for me.
I personally don't enjoy those like specific activities, but like I'll take a book or something. And that's, I think, the same kind of idea.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, nature talk aside. Noah, you wanted to yell at me.
Dan, I have some lore for you about Batman, Arkham Asylum, and Arkham City.
Okay.
Now, firstly, I haven't played Arkham Knights. I have to beat Arkham Origins before I could play Arkham Knights.
You know what? I wonder if this whole misunderstanding was because I think I was talking about Arkham Knight. Because I have the lore page up right now, and I'm like, no, this is what I was talking about. And it's mentioning specifically Arkham Knight.
Is Arkham Knight out yet?
Yeah, Arkham Knight's been out for a while, hasn't it?
Yes. Okay. Half a sec. I got it confused with something else.
You're thinking the one where you play like as the Robins.
Yeah.
It's also out, and apparently sucked.
Yes, I have heard that it is not good. I'm not gonna lie. None of this stuff has anything to do with Joker turning people into Jokers.
I'm literally about to copy and paste, and you are incorrect. Quite literally, it's the... Okay, I am talking about... I guess spoilers for Arkham Knight if you don't want spoilers for Arkham Knight. I kind of feel like it's been out long enough that I'm not that worried about it. But if you don't want to talk about it, I'm totally
It's been out for 7 years, so...
Yeah. Quite literally... This infection was not fatal and instead slowly made the host inherit the personality, traits, and behavior of the Joker until they would likely become a literal copy of the Clown Prince of Crime.
That's hilariously bad. No wonder people also hated this game.
He turned people into Jokers. I knew I wasn't crazy.
This is actually insanely stupid.
I knew I wasn't crazy. I have been vindicated, quite frankly.
I don't know that you have, because this is the fourth game. That
I know, I was talking about
you were
City,
referencing game 4,
and I did literally think it was the plot of
the
the entire series. Yes, that is 100% fair.
However, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
This
turns
is
people into Jokers.
Ass.
Oh, it's so dumb. Oh, it's so dumb.
This is ass.
No, it's so stupid. That's why I was so upset.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that sucks. I'm going to tell you about the other games instead.
Tell me about the other games instead, please.
Because
I want to believe.
Apparently you don't have a clue what happens in them either. You did happen to be incredibly correct about the literal worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Arkham. Yeah. Here we are on arkhamcity.fandom.com.
Uh-huh. Joker.
It just happens to all be about Arkham Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. God, this sucks.
I'm gonna be honest, I think it's dumb, but I think it's comic book dumb. It is exactly the kind of comic book dumb I expect out of a anything.
Yeah, but also when I explain to you how much more grounded these other games were while still being comic book dumb, you're gonna understand that this is stupid.
Yeah, what do you got? Hit me.
Okay, so Arkham Asylum. We'll start with the beginning because that's a good place to start, right? God, man. This whole thing
thrown you
threw me
off.
so hard. There's no way we're going to finish the episode on this. We got other things that we're going to have to find to talk about. So think about that while I tell you. Arkham Asylum opens up with Batman. Batman caught the Joker, okay? Joker was like going to bomb the fucking city hall
He was
or
gonna do
some
some
shit
Joker
like that.
shit.
He was going to do some Joker shit. But also, he had managed to set fire to Blackgate Prison. Now, Blackgate Prison is where normal criminals go, and Arkham Asylum is where loony bins go.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we're out here like, whatever will happen to all the Joker's goons? I guess we'll just transfer them to Blackgate from Blackgate to Arkham for the time being. I mean, we have nowhere else to put them, so it's fine, right?
Yeah,
That's like
classic.
the beginning of Arkham Asylum. And of course, because the Joker plans for things in a way that also Batman plans for things, this was his entire intention.
Of course.
He got all of his guys transferred to Arkham Asylum. He has some people who are working at Arkham that are working for him, or at least that he has a lot of leverage over. And he ends up taking the entire asylum over.
Classic Joker behavior.
Exactly. The main story, it turns out that they were doing some unethical experiments over here at Arkham. Among other things,
Shocking.
taking Bane's Titan formula and trying to transform it into like some military weapon type of situation. Except the
great.
person who is developing Titan as a military weapon was actually working for Joker and she just didn't realize it.
That's very funny.
Right? So Joker takes over, he shoots up some of his goons with Titan. So now you have a new boss type enemy to fight.
Mm-hmm. He sure is. He's Jokerifying him. They're getting
Exactly.
Jokered.
Well, no, they're not Joker-fied yet. It's very important right now. They're just big.
They're just big. They're not Joker. Okay, got it. Sorry about
Exactly. They're just some big jokers having a good old time as big Joker goons, you know?
that. Big old Jokies. Big jokey
So
boys.
that's a problem. That's not cool.
Classic.
But, you know, he threatens to poison the Gotham water supply with the shit. It's basically all it's going to do is turn everyone into a big old angry man that fights. That's about it.
Damn. That's
Which
crazy. Sounds
It's
like
cool and all, but it's just like it's a normal ass like villain plot from
I
a
was trying to
Batman.
think
You know,
of
like,
a-
oh, Joker's poisoning the water supply, Batman.
I was trying to think of a suitable a suitable he who sounds like a insert I don't know, insert sporting event here kind of thing, but I couldn't get there.
I don't think there's any sporting event where you poison the opposing team's water supply.
But there's a lot of sporting events that turn everyone into big angry men who fight. Look
Yeah,
at you,
it's
hockey.
called the World Cup.
Oh,
No,
it's
it's
the
not
World
called
Cup.
hockey. It's called the World Cup. Hockey is generally not that bad.
Man, everyone
I
I've
said
ever talked about-
generally.
I was gonna say everyone I've ever talked about hockey tells me that that's the best part of hockey is the fighting. So I don't know.
Yeah, the best part of hockey is the fighting that does not happen every game.
Oh, that's why it's a treat. You can have a little
Yeah.
violence as a treat.
Also, it was a bigger thing. Okay, so it was a bigger thing back in the day before they had more rules against it. You would literally have a guy on the team whose entire job was to like break bones.
God damn.
He was your fucking thug man who you'd send out and take out one of their players, and then he'd get fucking carded and sent to the penalty box for the rest of his life. Maybe like dismissed from the next 2 games or something. But that's why you have
honestly such a tiny punishment.
Yeah, no, literally. He'd go out, he'd incapacitate the guy for the game, you'd win the game, and you'd go on. You know?
Insane. Okay.
It's a wild old time. It's just how it is sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But not anymore. Which is why some people are like, oh, finally, we got to fight in the hockey game again. You know, back in the good old days, we used to have these all the time. But also people who actually like the sport aren't usually that kind of guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, anyway.
I do like that you said usually, by the way.
Well, I mean, it does depend. You know, sometimes it's fun to see some people throw their gloves off and throw like 5 punches before the ref comes in and like takes them down.
That sounds pretty fun. That sounds pretty fun.
Right? It is a pretty good time. But that's not what the Joker's doing. The Joker,
He's the Joker. baby.
let's see, the whole thing is just like an entire plot to get into Bruce's head, basically. Like, Batman is supposed to not win at the end of everything, but he's not supposed to, you know, die, obviously. Joker loves having Batman be around forever. And he just, I don't know, man, the game's plot is played out in its side stuff, but that's the big theme is Joker was commissioning a weaponized version of the Titan formula. He was threatening to poison Gotham with it. Kind of like the scene in Batman Begins where Scarecrow's just dumping his fear toxin into the city's water supply.
Which you really got to wonder, what is the end goal there?
Just to make everybody crazy.
I just feel like make everybody crazy isn't a good enough reason to commit crime.
I mean, I would agree, but that's why you're not a supervillain like Scarecrow, and
I'm
you
also
are a
not
normal person.
in Arkham.
Yeah, there's a reason that you're not in the least ethical mental institution in the world, and you're just vibing.
You know what? That's fair, and that's on me.
Yeah. Maybe think about that next time, Dan.
When we're done with this, I do want to talk really briefly. I've been watching Harley Quinn, and I want to talk about it, but we'll come back to it.
Okay, cool. So at the end, you fight the Joker. He shoots himself up with a lot of Titan, and then you beat the shit out of him.
Nice, because you're Batman.
Exactly. You save the day. Everybody's happy. Batman wins. Fast forward to Arkham City. In Batman's time in Arkham Asylum, he realized, wow, this place that I kind of thought was going to solve all of my problems actually isn't. It's actually, this is terrible. This sucks ass. Not an ideal situation to put people into. So he starts to campaign against it as Bruce Wayne. He's like, we need to shut this place down. Unfortunately, what ends up happening is the warden, Quincy Sharp, is revealed to be also insanely corrupt over the course of Arkham Asylum. And then he becomes Mayor Quincy Sharp.
What? But why?
Yes.
Whose idea was this?
Well, he got himself elected.
Of course. You know what? That's on me. I'm sorry.
Yep, exactly.
So that is how Gotham works, to be honest.
Right?
Honestly,
when he gets himself promoted. He gets himself promoted, Dan, and this man, he's like, oh, what if instead of Arkham Asylum, me and my evil advisor have a great new idea, and we make Arkham City. The city's they're gonna just claim all these buildings and then wall them off and let all the criminals be there. Just let them go.
I'm not gonna lie, until this second, I literally thought it was called Arkham City because Arkham took over all of Gotham.
Nope. They expanded the asylum and let the super criminals run free in the city.
That's so dumb.
Yep. But people voted for it, I assume, and they made it happen. Well, yeah, exactly, right? And he, with the help of Hugo Strange, this game's big villain.
Classic Hugo Strange. Man, I love Hugo Strange as a character. He's the fucking worst. I love him so much.
My favorite part about Hugo Strange is I know nothing about him, but those videos I sent you, the guy really lays into the fact that Hugo Strange is like a D-list Batman villain who's never done anything important in his life.
All he ever does, in like my understanding of him, is he sometimes runs Arkham. That's it.
Yeah, he's like a big old nobody. He's just a big smart man who is too smart for his britches.
Yeah,
and then gets his ass kicked because of it.
Yeah, no, that's his whole shtick, and it's a gift, a delight even.
But our buddy boy Hugo, he's out here with Arkham City. He's funding the various groups within with like weapons and shit so that they can do villain stuff, as you would expect. While also being like, we do not know why there's villain stuff still happening. We will send in
we
death
told them
squads,
to stop.
And then we'll beat them up. Ha 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 ha.
Classic maneuver.
Batman, Bruce Wayne gets tossed in there as a political dissident, along with a lot of other political prisoners.
So funny.
Because at one point, I can't remember who it is. It's either like this really out of character line from Alfred, or it's Barbara Gordon, who's just like, well, I think it was Barbara, because it's like, well, Batman, everyone in there's a prisoner. Maybe we should just leave them to fucking die. And he's like, no, you don't understand. There's political prisoners here too. We need to save everyone. Normal stuff.
Normal Batman.
Exactly.
A classic Batman conundrum, one might even
Exactly.
say.
He's like, I don't want to lose these people. We got to save the day.
You gotta save all these people.
We can't just let this whole place burn to the ground. They're actual innocent people in Criminal City. So
who put them there?
Oh, that is one of the side stories you can look into, isn't it?
So stupid.
But over the course of this, you realize that Joker is here, and Joker is not doing well. Joker's body reacted very poorly to the incredible levels of Titan he shot up,
Mhm.
and he's like, his blood is so toxic it's killing him. This is where our wires got crossed,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
because Joker shoots Batman up with Joker blood,
Joker juice.
Joker juice, if you will. And then he's like, "Oh, you feel like shit, don't you, Batman? It's because you got my blood in you. We're like the same now. Hey, but you better find a cure, because like for real, that will kill you.
And also me.
Also,
But
I shipped off a lot of my blood to blood banks, so like that'll kill them too. So you better get a cure, otherwise all the innocent people at the blood banks will die too. Isn't that neat?
isn't
Isn't
this
that
clever,
neat,
Batman?
Batman?
Wasn't this a good idea, Batman?
You
Look how
know,
clever I am. That's what the Joker sounds like, I assume.
yeah, close enough.
Cool. Thank you.
And, you know, we have a lovely time going through the game and trying to figure out, well, what's Hugo up to? Oh, can't actually look into it. We are poisoned by the Joker. So you're actually, instead of doing what you went into Batman Arkham City to find, you're trying to find the antidote to Joker poison.
Got it. Okay.
You have 2, and then someone blows up your secret Bat cave in Arkham City Island, and now you only have 1. And it's like, well, I'll figure this out. I'm going to make something good happen. And then Hugo Strange lets loose his plan. What was his plan, you may ask? Why, Dan, I'm glad you asked. It was actually to trigger a riot to justify going in and killing everyone with attack helicopters. He's been feeding them guns so that he can say, hey, you know, I tried to do my thing, and well, wouldn't you know it, the villains, they wouldn't let me, so instead I'm gonna go put them down though, so they don't hurt you, the good citizens of Gotham. And everyone's like, oh my god, thank you, Mr. Hugo. That's so nice of you. You saved us all. You know, that kind of spiel.
What the fuck?
Oh, but Dan,
I'm
I
ready.
forgot to mention, there's a magic sauce that makes the Joker antidote work.
Oh, okay. What's the magic
It's from the
sauce?
Lazarus Pit.
Of course it
You know,
is.
you know the Lazarus Pit.
Man, the Lazarus
Are
Pit
you
is one
about
of
to tell me you hate Ra's al Ghul?
I do, kind of, actually, but also I hate the
He
Lazarus
does
Pit.
suck.
He sucks
Yeah.
so bad. And he just
It's a man who is immortal at this point of his life should have picked up on the fact that wiping out everyone is not the answer. Rather than pulling a fucking Thanos on this, he should have put 2 and 2 together and realized, oh, maybe if we re-educate people instead of just deciding to kill every single person in the world, we'd be doing better.
doesn't he have a
I'm
isn't
sorry,
there a
in
story
Gotham.
where he wins he does that? Like Superman ends up in the future or something. Hold on.
I don't know. Yeah, look into it. Find out for me.
There's a story. I don't know where it is, but there's a story where Ra's al Ghul wins, and that is essentially what happens. Is he sits down and like he meets up with, I think it's Batman in the future, or it's Superman. It's somebody. Somebody ends up in the future, and he's like, you know what? My B fam, you were right. Look what I've done. I'm so sorry. Let me help you fix.
LMAO. Let me go back and kill my past self so that I can resurrect again and not have learned a single lesson.
Pretty much, yeah.
God damn it. Love it.
Story where Ra's al Ghul wins the future. There it is. God, the internet is stupid. Fucking Batman is stupid. It's so dumb. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I thought it was Ra's al Ghul. May have been somebody else. It was one of the Immortals. It's just like sitting in the ruins of Gotham.
No luck finding anything?
No, I can't find it. I hate Ra's al Ghul. That's the point.
That's fair. That's the correct opinion, in my opinion.
He's just bad and dumb.
So anyway, he's involved. Spoiler alert. So you get some sauce from the Lazarus Pit to make your Joker antidote work.
Mm-hmm.
But then, wouldn't you know it, you didn't figure out what Hugo was up to in time, so he starts nuking the island with air-to-ground missiles.
Classic decision. We've all been there.
Because everyone's like, oh my god, someone needs to do the hard thing and just put everyone down. And he's like, I am willing to do the hard thing.
And put everyone down.
And then the biggest plot twist of all. Oh no, it's Ra's al Ghul who's telling Hugo what to do.
Damn, nobody saw it coming.
Right? Oh, but biggest plot twist of all again. The game isn't over. The Joker, you still didn't cure the Joker or you. So what ends up happening, Dan, and this is like the big ending to the game. There's also a Catwoman storyline that like doesn't actually like matter. It's an important part of the game and fleshing it out, but for the story, I don't need to tell you anything about it, you know.
Okay.
But the game is very worth playing. I would definitely recommend it. But
it sounds like a delight, an insane delight, but a delight nonetheless.
you get to the end, and wouldn't you know, it's time to fight Joker again. But unlike last time, where we got the worst boss fight on planet Earth for the Joker at the end of Arkham City, or Arkham Asylum, Arkham City's just like, well, what if the Joker sicked Clayface on you? Because Clayface is he's been paying Clayface to be his public persona whenever he makes like appearances places.
Because he can't, because he's too sick.
Yeah. So Clayface is out here pretending to be the Joker this whole time, and Bruce fell for it. It's like you see him and he's fine, and then he rolls up to you in a wheelchair and he's like, I'm not doing fine. And then you see him later and he's doing fine, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, there's two Jokers.
There's two Jokers.
You fight Clayface, you beat the shit out of the dude.
Good.
You destroy the Lazarus Pit.
Good.
But
that
then
also gets destroyed and rebuilt like 9 million fucking times. Just saying.
Exactly, right? But then after all that, after everything is done, Joker stabs you in the back, literally, and you drop the antidote, and he cannot be cured anymore. Which leads to like this absolutely hilarious ending where, because Batman shot up half of it because it was enough to stabilize him, and then he was going to give the rest to Joker. And he's just like, you know, what's really funny, Joker, is after all the people you killed tonight, after all the harm you've caused me in my life, I was still going to help you tonight. And I was still going to like give you the antidote. And Joker, who is like licking antidote off the floor, is like, and dying, is like, you know, that actually is fucking hilarious. That is so funny. And then Joker dies.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good ending to the Joker. And then nothing happens. Arkham Knight doesn't happen.
I choose to believe that. There is actually a really neat DLC that, you know, obviously Batman's real shook up by the fact that his like archenemy is dead and he wasn't able to save anyone in Arkham City properly. Like it's an entire game about Batman failing to do his core Batman thing.
Which is always good, by the way. Side note.
It's always neat to see that.
Anyone who writes anything, let your heroes fail. It's much more interesting than whatever the fuck you were going to have them do. I promise.
Until you oversaturate that market. And then it's like, I get it. Okay. Evil Superman. Injustice already did it. There's a fine line to walk there.
Well, no, because here's the thing. Injustice already did evil Superman, but you can have Superman fail and still not turn evil. That's what makes him Superman. Like, that's the whole... That should be the whole fucking point.
We got the Justice League with Darkseid and Doomsday. I'm sorry, am I remembering that right? Is Darkseid and Doomsday in the same movie?
I don't fucking know, dude. I didn't watch it. Are you kidding me? Ezra Miller's in that thing. I'm not watching that.
Have a sec.
Respectfully. No, not respectfully. Disrespectfully. Fuck Ezra Miller.
Steppenwolf. Who the fuck is Steppenwolf?
That name is familiar. Why?
Oh, it's because it's a band also, but like...
that's what I was going to say. Why do I know that name?
Have a sec. Okay, I can't find it right now. I just know that Doomsday came in and fucking killed Superman recently.
Good.
Which is always fun. I love a good Doomsday arc. The only guy who can kill Superman.
Consistently.
And his literal only purpose is to kill Superman.
Yeah. I do love that.
There's like an entire issue where he's just like, yeah, kind of blows actually, because you know, I got no purpose now that Superman's dead.
I always love that trope. I think it's a fun trope. I think it's a good time. I think it's a good trope for villains. I think it's a shitty trope for heroes. I think villains being like, wow, I've dedicated my life to being a shitty person, and now I have nothing left to do besides just continue being shitty. Like, what is it all for? Mm-hmm. Great. Heroes being like, I finally saved the day, and now the day doesn't need saving anymore, so why does anyone need me? Boring. Dumb. You're stupid.
Oh, it was in Batman v Superman. That was where it was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because yeah. That one I did see.
Yeah, okay. This makes so much more sense now. I understand now.
Wonder Woman
okay,
comes
I
out,
thought that they
thing.
just like triple stacked villains for a second, and I'm like, this is embarrassing.
Please.
From what I've heard, the 3-hour cut, while it's like technically good is also still like not great.
That's what I've seen the 3 hour. That's the only version of Batman v Superman I watch. It's fine.
No, I'm talking about Justice League.
Oh, I'm sure it's the same for Justice League because I truly like the pacing is, in my opinion, way better. Even though it is a 3 hour movie, which fuck that, frankly. It's so much clearer like how it was supposed to go versus from what I didn't even watch the non long version of Batman v Superman. I just was like, I'm not gonna watch a movie that is just gonna be that I know is going to be bad. I'd rather watch a movie that at least has a chance of being okay.
Mm-hmm.
Insert he who all superhero movies are bad. Just throwing that out there.
All superhero movies awful. Ha 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 ha.
He who Superman bad actually. I have God I.
Oh, did I? No, okay. The DLC. The DLC.
No,
I'm
DLC,
sorry. I
sorry,
got
yeah,
distracted. I got distracted by.
You're distracted by other stuff.
Justice League. The DLC for Arkham City is basically Batman gets a because he's shaken up by this, and he gets a tape from Joker saying, "If you're getting this, I'm dead. And hey, buddy, if I'm dead, why should you be alive? What purpose do you have without me here?"
Bad,
And
stupid,
he ends up
dumb, weak take.
he ends up getting captured by Harley, who is obviously also having a miserable time,
Poor Harley.
and kept in a cage, and he needs rescued by Nightwing.
Insane.
But it's really cool because Batman's like down in a pit of despair, and he's like, yeah, if I can't even save Joker, what is the point of me?
Oh my god.
And literally everyone could be like, Batman, what the fuck, man? That was the Joker. Don't listen to what Joker has to say. But Batman's like, oh my god, the Joker
was right.
What if the Joker was right sometimes?
There's a certain amount of stupid that I feel like has to go into all these movies, in like these characters, because like it really is like that is the correct reaction is that it was the Joker, my guy. Just it. End of sentence.
I mean, it's one of those things where certain things need a certain amount of suspending your disbelief.
It
right?
has to, yeah, yeah,
Because
100%.
obviously, and in the beginning of Arkham Asylum, Joker teeters over the edge of like a essentially bottomless pit and says, "Tell you what, Batman, you get one shot. Hit me with one of your stupid bat boomerangs. Kill me right now and end the evening." And Batman does not. Because Batman cares about saving people, even his villains, he wants to make sure that they live. He wants to try and save everyone, not just like survive, but like fix them, you know?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this means that the Joker gets to wreak havoc in a much larger way because he's not willing to kill him off like that. However, this gives us a much more like morally strong character. It lets them, in the prequel Arkham Origins, they get to play around with him being a Batman who's willing to operate on the edge of his own morality system a little bit more, you know? But it's very, very fun to see all of this stuff. I don't know. It's so fun to see all these games play out the way they do, and sit here and be like, wow, these games are better than I remembered them being. I'm starting to develop a lot of fondness for them. And then out of absolute left field, you're like, yeah, the Joker sauce that turns people into the Joker, like a clone of the Joker. You know, when he injects them with Joker juice and it turns them into the Joker. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, Dan? These games are so much more serious than that. That's not what it's like. Oh, wait. They're not.
I mean, listen, I think the joy of superhero movies in general, but Batman especially, is the fact that it can be serious and also like it can take itself seriously but not be serious, if that makes sense. I think that like there is a certain amount of goofiness in it all, right? Like and I like deconstructing that within the medium is kind of also super played out at this point. Like, oh man, I'm not wearing spandex. Shut up.
I hate that type of shit. I hate that shit.
Shut the fuck up. The only one I can think of
that type of comment has been around since the first X-Men, where he's like, what are these outfits? And he's like, oh, what did you expect? Yellow spandex?
Yeah.
Man, we did expect that, actually, because we had Spider-Man already, and he was wearing spider spandex.
Spider-Nex, if you will. No, it is a boring take. It is bad. It is boring. The only one I can think of where they did it like okay as like a nod to how dumb the classic outfit was in Luke Cage. He
I was about to
literally-
say, was it Luke Cage or Jessica Jones?
It was, because Luke Cage literally just yanks it off of like a clothesline and goes with what he can do, and then he happens to come out and looks like an idiot, and it's fine for one scene, literally like one scene.
Right? And then like the Jessica Jones stuff where she's just like, so why don't you have some sort of super outfit? And she's like, why do I need a super outfit? And then you look in the comics and you see her outfit sucks ass.
And
her like
so
casual
bad.
person outfit works so much better for the show she was in. And I think that's a big issue, right? People don't think about, and this is something I'm really hoping that they decide to do with the DC movies, because this is what the DC movies need. You need to have just a run of a director and a couple of writers who make a consistent single, duo, trio of movies. Let them do their thing and then fuck off. And let new people do their thing, rather than what Marvel's doing with their bloated carcass of a story that can't hold itself up anymore because there's too many moving pieces, so no one can have a movie to their own anymore. Every movie has to tie in and build up the next one. And it's like, dude, it's too big.
It's too big.
You need to rein it all in. You already went as big as you could with Thanos.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to live up to Thanos again.
Yeah, you literally built up to that from literal day one of the thing. Now you're trying to do it again with Kang, who got arrested, which is really funny, by the way.
Yeah, right.
The guy they hinged their entire new
their entire new
next
story
phase
arc
on.
is on Jonathan Majors, who, it's not going to work. Like, I guess a lot of the charges against him were dropped, which does not mean that they aren't true. It's just mean the person isn't willing to push through with it anymore, which, I mean, let's be real. If you're a Hollywood star with a big, bright future, quotation marks, in a major film franchise by the company with the biggest muscle in the industry. Yeah. I'm not gonna say that they leaned on anyone or made anything happen, because that would be hearsay from me, and also slander.
I'll slander the mouse.
However, well, I won't, for legal reasons. I won't hypothesize about what the mouse might have done. But hypothetically, if that happened, I wouldn't be surprised.
If I were the mouse, I would make that happen.
If I were the mouse, I would simply just be better.
No,
but that's just me.
You understand what? Okay, listen.
No, I get what you mean.
I don't need to sit here.
Oh, really, Dan? If I could change one thing, I actually would have stopped all the atrocities in the world.
I thought
but
Jackson
maybe that's
wasn't here
different.
this week.
Man, if I could do one thing, I'd fix this Marvel thing. Really curious, isn't this? I would simply be more corrupt blatantly. Oh, really?
Oh my god. Fuck. Train of thought. It's coming back. Hold on, I'll get there. Oh, Gotham. Gotham and fucking Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever? I may have talked about it on the show a little bit, but it's been a while. Have you ever watched any of Gotham, the TV show?
Gotham, the TV show, no. Harley Quinn, a little bit.
So they are on the opposite ends of like the spectrum as far as like everything, really. Gotham is a like prequel series that is a like kind of almost a like it is a hold on, let me try that again. Gotham is like a prequel series, sort of. It's pre-Batman. It's all about Jim Gordon and like young Jim Gordon trying his fucking best against a city that does not frankly want him to try his best.
Yeah.
It's a delight. I fucking love that show, especially if people got real mad at it for a while about like, oh, this isn't how it happened. This isn't how Penguin became the Penguin. And to that I say, shut the fuck up.
Dude, it's, you know how else, my God, dude, it's like, you know how else certain people didn't become heroes? The entire fucking MCU. Sometimes you branch out and you change your stories because they translate better to screen, because you don't have the infinite expanse of comics to build someone slowly in the background of 17 issues before you unveil them.
Yeah, that is correct. But what if, counterpoint also, fuck you.
You know what? I hadn't considered that. You're correct.
Thank you.
You're correct.
Thank you for your service. No, I love Gotham. I actually would highly recommend it. I actually would recommend it for you even. It's a little more serious. It's very like noir-y.
I do love a good noir-y.
It is super noir. Has like some of the real best lighting work I've seen in, honestly, the best lighting work in.
Oh, it's on HBO Max. I could
Yeah,
watch
it's
that.
worth. It's honestly super worth. I actually don't even think it's like take the first season to get into it. I think it gets going from the word go. The guy who plays Penguin is a delight.
I love a Penguin. I like how, because I heard that they entered in a Joker who's legally not the Joker.
He's legally not the Joker. Don't worry, he's definitely not the Joker.
Legally not the Joker. He
Jerome-
might wear some clown paint sometimes, but as everyone knows, that's not how the Joker became the Joker, so that can't be the Joker.
Jerome Valeska, played by
his
the guy
character name?
who is who's the lead character in Jedi Fallen Order. Actually, the guy who plays the lead in Jedi Fallen Order plays Jerome, and he is fucking phenomenal. Yeah, huge fan of him as honestly the whole show. Riddler is amazing. Riddler and Penguin kind of have this like bromancy, maybe a little gay relationship going on the whole time. Until I'm actually pretty sure by the end it actually is just a full blown gay relationship. But nonetheless, it's delightful. It's a delightful fucking show. It's so dumb. Oh my god, it's so dumb, but it's dumb and takes, like I said, it's very dumb, but it takes itself really seriously in a way that I really, really appreciate. Harley Quinn, on the other hand, is dumb and doesn't take itself seriously, and I also delight in that.
God, I love that. It's just like, what if we decided to make everyone just like a caricature of a caricature?
It's so good. I was talking to Brian about it on stream the other day, but the way they characterize Bane is so fucking funny. He's just a nerd. He's just a big fucking nerd. And like, not he's a computer nerd, which is what they do to King Shark. No, he's just a dork. He's out here like threatening to blow up just about anything that mildly inconveniences him. At one point, he trips over an office chair and yeets it through a window and screams that he will be this chair's reckoning. It's a delightful fucking show, and I am enjoying it so much. Every characterization is so great. I mean, Harley's annoying as shit, but that's just because like she has character growth still to do. But whatever. Everything else about the show, a delight. Just an absolute treat. Cannot recommend it highly enough. The reason that you remind me of it is because you mentioned Clayface is like taking over as the Joker, or is, pretending to be the Joker, and in the show he's an actor. That's his whole shtick. Is he wants to be a classical actor.
Except like no one takes him seriously because all he can do is imitate other people.
Mm-hmm.
God, I love it.
It's so
every time I've seen a clip
funny.
And it's just like, hello, my name is Clayface. I am an actor. And then Harley's like, hey there, Clayface.
Pretty much. That is basically the dynamic. Yeah, it's great. I also really like, they did a really fun characterization of King Shark where he's like, he's obviously still a shark, but his actual specialty is in computers. And so his anytime he's insanely violent, it is a very casual, like, goes to sit down at a security desk and bites the guard's head off on his way over, like clean off of his body, and just sits down and starts doing computer hacky stuff. And it's a delight. It's just a delight. The other two, Ivy is amazing as always. I love her in everything she's in when she's not hypersexualized.
I really enjoy that there's like the clear romantic undertones between Harley and Ivy, but also they're like fighting, so
they can't. Yeah.
So yeah, instead of being a couple, Ivy's just like, I'm mad at Harley, so I'm gonna go marry this C-list hero.
Yeah, correct. No, villain. Kite
Man's a villain. I'm sorry. Whatever.
That's also the fuck that the number of pulls they have for characters in this is so funny. Like, fucking Kite Man as a not even like a secondary character, but like still a pretty important character to the story so far. A delight.
Anytime.
Scarecrow's just vaguely Britishly evil.
God, I love that. You need to have, if you're doing your own thing on the side, that everyone's like, yeah, this is a non-canonical entry.
Mm-hmm.
We're having fun with a non-canonical entry into the Batverse.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have fun with it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a non-canonical entry and your entire idea is just gonna be, what if Batman's not the main character?
Oh my god, and Batman's a fucking...
He's such an idiot.
He's so dumb. Jim
every
Gordon
time
is
Nina
quite
tells me
literally
about
on the
it.
edge, like so far the entire time. His marriage is in shambles.
Mhm.
Fucking, it's just a delightful fucking show.
He's so busy being Batman, he forgets to go pay his taxes or something, right? And he goes to jail.
I have not gone that far, but yeah, that seems on brand. That seems
Okay, I'm
exactly
pretty
directly
sure.
on brand.
And then like all the Bat fam has to like pick up for him, and Harley's like, "Oh, hey guys, you need some help because like Batman kind of keeps our operation rolling." You know what I mean?
It's so good. Oh my
Nina
god.
very much has been enjoying it, and it's I've heard the new Suicide Squad also. Have you seen that one yet?
Three?
It would be the second one,
I saw
the James Gunn Suicide Squad.
yes. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh my
I've
god.
heard it's very good.
It was
and
good
I
enough.
really am
It was
enjoying
good
the
enough
idea.
that fucking John Cena got his own show out of it, and he fucking deserved it.
I heard that was also very nice.
I've heard Peacemaker's really good. I did not watch it, but I've heard delightful things.
I've also heard a lot of good things. I have no desire to watch it only
Same.
because I don't
Are you
know,
watching
man.
it?
It's so
I swear to God, if you're about to say something negative about John Cena, I will hang up this podcast right
I
now.
don't give a shit about John Cena. John Cena is
dare
like
you.
one of the most neutral, positive like impressions I have of anyone.
Yeah, man, I
He's
have
like the
nothing-
king of Make-A-Wish.
He is the king of Make-A-Wish.
Why would
That-
like he's the king of Make-A-Wish and like just a normal guy who has turned his entire WWE persona into also just being a very normal actor.
And yeah, a very, very fine. He's a fine actor. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that about him. More power to him. I have no negative feelings toward him. I don't have a slew of positive ones either. He's just there. I don't know.
It's so good.
I don't want to watch it just because as a contrarian, I like to have a less mainstream show that I'm into, but also as a realistic reason, I just don't have enough time to watch a show that I have to pay attention to. And while I don't think I have to pay attention to that at all, there are other shows that I can pay attention to just as little and have on in the background while I play like Elden Ring or something and try and wind down after work.
I respect that. I've been talking to Michelle about that a lot lately because Michelle's very much like really enjoys just watching television. Like she'll binge a season. I can't. I physically cannot binge seasons anymore.
I know that.
Like,
I try, and if the episodes are more than like 40 minutes long, I'm like, well, I can do like I'll let myself do 3 episodes max.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have to like take a brain break from that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't even. I like now like, and I don't know if it's a he who like brain rot. You know, the phones have destroyed my brain. Can't focus on anything long enough. But like, I can't even like. I don't know the last like air quotes serious TV show I watched that I was able to just sit through. Like I don't know.
I really no, I get it. I really do have to actually like intentionally not do things while watching a movie. I mean,
Yeah.
like Nina and I were watching a movie for the other podcast today,
Mhm.
and I had a blast with it. But I was taking notes, which helps me keep on track. But I still I popped Twitter open. I was messaging you guys plans and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, man, I wanna focus better. But it's an intentional decision, and I'm not ready to make that decision yet. So for the time being, I'll let it go.
Yeah, it's also like it's one of those things like Michelle and I have talked about watching movies a lot lately. I think we're gonna try and watch one either tonight or tomorrow. And like when watching them, I don't even pick movies that are like. I know my movie list is endlessly growing. I have
Of course.
hundreds at this point of movies that I know I need to or want to watch at some point. But like I don't want to watch anything that's gonna make me actually like think or even necessarily feel like I want to watch a He Who Funny, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's part of why I still watch a lot of Disney movies is like, yeah, I get that the mouse is well, it's the mouse, but I also like it's a safe air quotes enough piece of media that I can watch it and not have to.
Exactly. You know that the grandest statement is going to be family is important. And it's like, okay, cool. And you can
Yeah.
move on from that.
Kind of, yeah.
It's,
And
it's literally, it's the reason I watched The Office for so long. You know,
Mhm.
I think The Office is a fine show. I think it's fun. I don't think it's as good as everyone and their mom made it out to be.
next time
because-
you're up here, we'll go to see The Office the musical.
That sounds like a blast.
It's so bad. I went to see it with my coworkers, having not watched The Office at all, like at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought it would be fucking hysterical.
Uh-huh.
and it was like the show wasn't hysterical. The show was mid at best, but
I disagree, but continue.
The musical was mid at best.
Oh, okay.
The musical was mid at best, but
it was really funny knowing all these moments were happening that were supposed to be funny because you've seen the show.
Because I've seen
and
like
since
the
you
zeitgeist.
haven't seen it, it's like,
yeah,
all right, I know that's a punchline, but I only know it's a punchline because you looked at me and you pointed your fingers.
Basically, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Where we were sitting there's so it's like a really small. It's not even a Broadway musical. It's a like off Broadway. It's a tiny fucking theater, maybe like 100 people.
So like they notice when you're there.
They notice when you're there, and they know that what they're doing is not good, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
And so they are aware that it's like this is dumb and silly, and we're doing it anyway, kind of thing, which I respect immensely. But we ended up where we were sitting was near where Jim's character was. And so when he did his, look off screen, it was directly at us every single time.
Oh my God.
And it was such a delight. If it's still showing, we'll definitely go. I think they're doing, the same writer is doing a Parks and Rec and Friends, I think are the other two that they're working on.
That would be hilarious.
I would see any of those because I think it would be the same thing. It would be kind of terrible, but it would be such a delightfully fun thing to do. But yeah, no, shut my brain off. I need more shut my brain off shows. Like I need more shows where I don't have to. And that's not to say, I shouldn't be challenged by my media, but like, dude, I am tired. Like I am just like societally tired.
No, I get it. I mean, like, okay, so I'm gonna say something on the podcast that I'm not allowed to say yet because it's contextual to the conversation, and I think enough time will have passed that it's fine. I got promoted at work.
Congrats, by the way.
Which led to me not being allowed to tell my manager about it because the district manager had to tell her and he wanted to keep things chill, Mm-hmm. So for the Easter weekend, which is when we are recording, I'm not allowed to tell anyone. So I didn't. I only told family. Unfortunately, and this one goes out to Nick. Shout out to Nick. I don't know if you actually actively listen or not, but if you do, fuck you, buddy. Out here with all your jokes about we are going to the place, making it sound like I got the job, which I did, but that's not the point. I'm not allowed to tell the manager, and Nick's over here like, when you go, you're taking me with you. Like, when we go over there soon, and I'm just like,
Shut up.
Let me explain the joke to the manager so that she doesn't think that, but I'm pretty sure she already knows, because she's not stupid. She knows how these things go. And the interview went way better than my first one.
Nice.
Did you know that you can get a job if you tell them, hey, I kind of know how to use Excel, so I made a calculator?
Yes. Honestly, yes, I did know that.
Because I swear to God, that has to be how I got this one. Because I ended with them on a real high note out of that Excel calculator. Anyway, though.
It's wild. It's wild how
small a thing can improve.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much. Pretty much.
So that's a promotion that adds 5 whole hours to my work week.
It's not bad, but it also doesn't also push you over the 40 hour, like the limit to like get benefits and shit. Then
I do get benefits too. Yes,
that's hot.
It pushes me over. I believe it's 36 hours is the limit.
Dude, I'm genuinely so happy for you.
Well, here's the issue though, is that means that I'm never going to have a short day again, which is where I usually got a lot of my work done, which means that I'm going to be even more like out of time and tired when I get out of work now. I think if I'm correct, my main benefit here is that my Sundays are off now, I think.
Ooh,
I don't think I work on Sundays anymore. No. But the other bad news is I didn't work on a lot of Sundays. I already had a lot of Sundays off.
You already had the thing you needed. Now it's just like, well, all right.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, but I get it.
Let me check. God damn it. Easter is coming up, so I can't even check. Fuck, man. I'm just like, what do the hours look like? Hours may differ. It's Easter. Fucking hell, man. I know they're closed. That's not the point.
Really fucking funny.
But they close earlier, so I'm not going to have to work until 10:30 anymore either, which is also nice.
That is honestly a delight.
God, I've been having so many stress dreams about this shit recently. Like,
Oh, that's rough.
Dreams where I'm just like in an incredibly like awkward social position with my friends.
Why? What are your
Um,
friends? Why?
Nothing is the issue, but it's work
Uh,
stress that's translating into I haven't seen my friends in so long, and I'm really I'm really stressing about it, you know?
I do get that. Yeah. No, I understand.
So that translates into my very first work dream I've had about this place, which was
Oh,
so hilarious, Dan. I woke up and I'm like, "Oh my god, things went so poorly last night and I forgot to email my manager about it." I'm halfway through like thumbing through my phone to find the email app so I can tell her what happened
before you realize that. Oh
before I
wait.
woke up enough and realized that was a dream. Today's Friday, not Tuesday, because in my dream it was a Monday night. I like the dream was weirdly detailed.
I feel like they always are.
They really are. This is so okay. So, do you ever have like when you have work dreams, is there dream work that does not resemble real life work?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is actually the first time that my dream work has not been This is like it was identical. This is the first time that's happened to me. Usually, my dream job is like I know it's the job, but it's a dream, you know? So the dream's like, yeah, this is where you work. And I'm like, yeah, that's where I work. But it doesn't resemble it. This
Yeah.
was
It's
a
not.
one to
It's not the
one
same.
recreation.
My
And it
God.
was the weirdest shit. And I didn't like it.
No, that would weird me the fuck out. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
That
it
would.
took me so long to break out of it. And I woke up enough to see that Nina had posted something cool in their server. And I'm like, oh, Nina, congratulations on this artist that you really like, followed her back on Twitter, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And Nina's like, "Oh, thanks. Hey, do you want to hear about the D&D game last night?" But in my mind, I was much more tired sounding than I was, and I was just like, "Nina, please. I need to wake up first. I'm not awake yet." And I bumble around for the next 30 minutes and I'm like, "Okay, I'm awake enough now. Let's hear about D&D." And I feel bad cuz I'm like, "Oh, that was so mean of me. Why did I do that?" And
Nah,
Nina's
dude.
like, "You just had to wake up." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but that's not the point."
Michelle and I have gotten to the point where like firmly the person I am when I'm like half asleep and the person I am when I am awake are not the same person. Like not even like oh kind of sort of they're just full on not the same person.
Mhm.
I am like
Oh,
I'm
Nina's
super
so rude to me when
I'm
when waking
so
up.
rude. Oh my god, I am a nightmare of a human being. For nothing. For no like not even like oh I'm so stressed out no, I'm just an asshole. And the problem is I take so long to wake up. Oh man, I don't think I talked about that on the podcast yet. I finally so regarding sleep,
Okay.
I have actually been dreaming more lately.
Okay. Is
Because
this
I
a good or
find
bad thing?
it's a good thing because I finally got the like sleep apnea machine thing.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Which I gotta tell you, dude. I can't tell how much of it is like a little bit like placebo or whatever versus how
Uh-huh.
much of it is actually like oh I actually have been getting better sleep because I still had a bad day here and there of like oh wow I really didn't sleep well last night whatever but like overall like the way I described it to Michelle is that I feel much more like oh I just didn't have my coffee yet tired versus I physically am not capable of staying awake anymore tired when I wake up in the morning, which is a fucking delight. Like it was so bad for the longest fucking time. Uh I have like the stupid little mask, you know, you wear it on your face, whatever. It actually isn't as bad as it, like what I kind of expect it to be. I expect it to be like a lot more aggressively loud and also a lot more aggressive just in general, but
I
it
gotta be
really
honest. I
wasn't.
feel like as a guy that lives in the city, I feel like that kind of stuff isn't gonna bug you as much because you're already used to an ambient noise.
Exactly. And honestly, even it literally just sounds like a fan on. Oh, I have like if you have an overhead fan on and you can sleep with that noise, that's the level of noise it is.
Hmm. You have them
It's
both on, you won't even notice.
correct. Yeah, it's wild how much because like the one they like, so they take you in, they like test you with the mask or whatever to make sure that you know how to wear it, to make sure you're not gonna like fuck up in some way or whatever. And then train of thought so they make sure you're not gonna like fuck it up or whatever and then they actually give it to you they give you like a totally different machine because the one they use for like testing it essentially ancient, because why would they use the upgraded machine for that? So I go in and I'm like, wow, this thing is like, it has like a dial, like a mechanical dial on the side, and it sounds like I'm on life support like 24/7. And then I finally get the real one. It's like all digital. It has like a built-in modem that like connects back out to like the doctor directly,
Yeah.
so they can monitor everything. Like it's so nice. It's so I have not taken as deep of a breath in my entire life as I have starting to use this stupid machine. It's ridiculous. It does have a little bit of like, oh, this is how people have been breathing this whole time. The fuck? What am I like? What the hell? It's amazing. Finally got that 2 weeks ago now. I think I just forgot to mention it last week, but that's also been going great. That's been like a whole thing in and of itself. It's now now if I sleep poorly most of the time, it's because I just didn't get enough sleep versus I feel like I just didn't sleep at all. You know what I mean?
That's fucking great though, dude. I'm very happy for you.
Oh my god, it the way I described it to Michelle is that it feels like it's actually in my control whether or not I get sleep in a night now. Whereas before, I'm not kidding when I say I would get 8 hours, I would get 12 hours, I would get 4 hours, and they would all feel the exact same. There would be no difference as far as my like level of exhaustion. Which is,
I'm sure this has probably helped you like tone back on like caffeine drinks as well, hasn't it?
Oh, I mean, I was already doing that ever since
you were, but I'm sure it's
like,
less painful now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's exactly it. I don't feel like I need to like drink this to function as a human, like to literally stay awake. I now it's more about I like the taste thing.
God, last thing, because no one likes hearing about dreams, but I had a dream the other night that I somehow accidentally drank 2 cans of Monster.
Of all things. And I remember in the dream, I'm like, wait a minute. I haven't had caffeine since Christmas Eve. Fuck! I can't believe it. I broke it for Monster? I don't even like Monster. That's so funny. Also, I didn't know that you cut caffeine.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't. Okay, so it's not necessarily true. I cut energy drinks. I haven't had an energy drink since then.
Congrats. I didn't.
And
I
have.
don't know if you mentioned it and I just forgot, but
I can't remember. It doesn't matter though. I did because I had G Fuel on Christmas Eve that I did not realize had caffeine in it. In my mind, G Fuel was for some reason a non-caffeinated energy drink.
It's very caffeinated, actually.
It is very caffeinated. I knew that immediately because I was bouncing off the walls. I'm like, holy shit, this has got some punch to it without caffeine too. And my coworker looks at me and is like, the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like,
buddy.
There's no caffeine in these, right? And he's like, no. Oh, there's caffeine in these. But I'll still
really
have like
funny.
Nina and I will have like the morning off together and we'll go get some coffee or something like that. Like I'll still enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna not do that.
No, you know what? You deserve it, King.
I do deserve it, King. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I don't know. It's good things happening. Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. We all should be so lucky to have only good things happen.
We all should be so lucky.
I definitely have been enjoying the sensation of, oh hey, this is what an actual night of sleep is supposed to feel like, and you weren't crazy this whole time. Your body was just broken. That's been fun. I talked to my grandmother before I got the machine, like literally the day before, and she offhandedly mentioned that my dad, my uncle, and my granddad all have one, and that it's been great for them. And I'm just over here like, you guys weren't gonna
clue me in on that one.
You weren't gonna. Didn't feel like maybe I should know. Maybe I should.
God, dude.
Which,
honestly, classic.
I get it. I get that. Like, I don't talk to my family that often. I understand, and also, come on,
right?
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I try so hard.
I personally am in the process of not having insurance yet, so I'm not even going to think about it. But like in denial that I probably need one, because every now and then I'll sleep in a funny position and I can't breathe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is. Do you snore a lot? Is the big one that I get that I was asked.
Couldn't tell you. I'm asleep. But no, I definitely do snore.
Ask Nina. What the fuck? You don't sleep alone, Noah. The fuck?
The sobbing noises. Have you ever heard of a couch before?
Oh, buddy.
Fucking insensitive prick.
Oh no! Oh no! I really like the idea that like I can't figure out why Nina sent me to the couch. Smash cut to Nina in like a fucking like the like TV show confessional style. Yeah, no, he snores all the time, and
Like
he just
so much snoring.
so
He
much.
refuses to do anything about it. He's like, if you can't handle the snoring, then get out of the kitchen. And that doesn't even make any sense.
I'm not in the kitchen. It's the bedroom.
There have been times where Nina told me that they've moved to the couch because I've been snoring so loud, and they'll move out there for like an hour or so and then
Oh
come
yeah,
back.
dude, you should
And
definitely.
it makes me feel so bad.
I
But
have
if I
had the
sleep
same
on my
thing with
side,
Michelle.
I'm fine.
You should
So-
definitely. You should definitely. When you.
I also
when
don't
you
have a
are
spot to
alive-
put the machine. So
Do you have a floor?
no, I'm in the corner. Our bed is in the corner.
You could. You'd be fine.
Dan, you don't know the layout. It would be very difficult to move anything.
I believe in you.
I mean, if it's a difference between me breathing at night and not, yeah, we're gonna find a way to move it. But like for now, it's fine.
This
Ha
is
ha
fine.
ha! It's fine.
Yeah,
And you know what else is fine?
this podcast.
Me cutting you off so we can end the podcast.
about
Exactly.
to-
You're so good at this.
I'm so good at it. It's almost like we've been doing this for what, like 5 years now.
Something like that.
Insane.
Fuck, man.
The one of the
Long
longest
ass
projects that I've ever
podcast.
had.
Happy to be doing it.
The other one being my wife.